Coming from director George C. Wolfe, who gave us Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, this is a new Netflix movie called Rustin. Activist Bayard Rustin faces racism and homophobia as he helps change the course of civil rights history by orchestrating the 1963 March on Washington. So you know there's movies that are going to be good. There are movies that you know are going to be acted well, are going to look good, but you don't really want to stick them on because you have to be kind of in the mood for them. It looks like they might be a downer, depressing, but you know you should watch it because people are going to ask you, have you seen this movie? I can't believe you haven't seen this movie. For me, this title, I thought it was going to be one of those. I thought, okay, let me just, as a reviewer, I've got to jump in and go, okay, here we go. Let me say I've watched this and the performances are great. Not phone it in, but you have those movies for me, at least. I watch movies for escapism, for the most part. Every now and again I get in the mood and I want to really get to grips with something really meaty and, delve into the artistic impression of movies, moving images, and really talk about the psychology behind particular shots. Very rarely am I in that mood, but sometimes I will go there. For me, I have to be in the mood to watch these films, so I switched this one on and I was surprised by how uplifting this film was. I thought it was going to be a real downer and depressing. I've seen many films in this genre of this nature. And of course, people are going to be talking about this film, especially when it comes to Oscar or awards season. I feel 100% sure that we'll have this film nominated a number of times, if not taking the awards for them. For me, that's normally a red flag as to, oh yeah, I probably won't enjoy this film because I often are opposite to what the Oscars say. That's just me. I was surprised by how much I really enjoyed this. It is emotional in places and it will be affecting you. If you're human and you have a heart and have emotion, you're going to be impressed by the performances, but you're also going to be upset by what you're seeing. It's also a story that needs to be told, but it's also enjoyable in the way that it's so uplifting, but that by the time you reach the end of the film, you feel rather inspired than depressed, which I was really grateful for. So you have these amazing performances. Colman Domingo, who plays Bayard Rustin. I've seen a number of other titles. This one, for me, I didn't recognize him as the actor at all. When you talk about an actor who disappears into the role, this guy becomes Bayard Rustin. Crooked tooth, the kind of persona, being gay and being an activist and being black, all of that, those characterizations are amazingly folded into his persona. You 100% believe that you are watching this person react to what's going on in their life rather than you watching an actor play a part or, performing dialogue lines. It's that good of a performance. It's excellent. But then you even have characters like Chris Rock. He's not in it a lot, but what you get of him is great. The only thing I didn't quite buy is Chris Rock. I don't know, because of how I saw him. He has grey moustache and grey hair, and I just didn't see him as that old of a character. I felt like they needed to give him a bit more prosthetics with some wrinkles, because they made his hair look really old, but his actual face didn't look that old. It looked like Chris Rock. And that was just like, it was a contrast for me. That's just what I was thinking when I was looking at Chris Rock. But there are other amazing performances. I can't find one. I was thinking of one that I thought wasn't very good. There's more just standouts. Like, everybody's acting great. There's Gus Helper, who plays Tom. His performance is very emotional, and I bought all the scenes. I felt for him. I was sorry for what he was going through, but also just amazed at the performances that he's doing on screen. I just was really amazed at the story of this, the progression of it. I mean, because the story that you get in this is really basic. The formula is basic of how they film and how they tell it. This is about a group of people that come together to get a couple of 100,000 people together to march on Washington on one day, and everything that encapsulates it. So you get to see the little bits of what that takes. I don't know if you've ever thought about how, if you see all these marches with hundreds of thousands of people or large amounts, thousands of people, you kind of think, well, maybe they just all came together and walk, and somebody said, hey, let's meet here. The amount of work it actually takes to get a march together is astounding. And then you take it back in that time, and if you're African American, your skin color is black, and you are also gay, all of those things that work against you with technology, you think about how they had to put that together. It's an amazing feat, and what it brought and what it started was incredible. But seeing it put together was not boring at all. It was riveting, it was interesting, the performances keep you gripped throughout. It has enough side story for you to care about the emotions of the characters, but not to detract from the main story. And that's clever pacing. I'm going to give this 4.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
Because it's not a film that I would go back to very often. And for me, a 5 out of 5 Nicolas Cages is a film that I love, that's great, that's performed well, but it's a film that I need to go back and rewatch. The rewatchability. That's the only negative thing. Otherwise, it's a perfect film. Very well acted, good story, inspirational, well worth watching. Check it out. So 4.5 Nicolas Cage out of 5. Let me know what you think about this story. How accurate do you think it was? It seems like I don't know my American history, so it seems like it's fairly accurate and they've done their homework. But you know, with all storytellers, they embellish it to their story. I presume that the directors and the actors all came together to tell a story that's needed to be told. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that down below. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.